My name's Stephanie Ahumada, and I served in the Navy as a corpsman. The problem I ran into with the VA benefits process was that I didn't know the right words to use on my claim. And anything that's remotely vague or anything that doesn't fit their coding description gets thrown out in the process. And they threw the baby out with the bathwater, and things that I probably should have been compensated for were overlooked because I didn't know what to call them. I dealt with this. I got out of the Navy 8 years ago. And so I've been undercompensated for 8 years and had chronic pain for 8 years, severe for 3 years. So it's been 3 years of really needing help from my family and not getting it because I thought I was already receiving the compensation that I was allotted. More than I can describe. Um, for me, we, especially probably most people in the military, we have a tendency to suck it up and to accept things the way they are, or um, to see the system as something that you can't change, and you get used to hearing something and accepting it. So when the VA tells you this is your compensation amount, I think a lot of us veterans just are pleased to get something, and we say thank you, and we go about our business. And we don't usually we don't usually ask for more because we're happy to get anything. That was I figured you work for a living and you provide for your family, and if you get something for the VA, you should be thankful for it. And uh, all of my pain that I dealt with, and my issues with working, and my issues taking care of my kids, I just figured that's the way it is. And you find your own ways to cope with it. But I didn't think that there was anything else we could get. So I didn't look in. And then finally, a family member told me about Hill and Ponton, and that they specialized in taking care of veterans and VA cases and disability. And when the attorneys at Hill and Ponton reached out to me, they just immediately felt familiar. They were very friendly, they were very empathetic. Um, there was no pressure, and they're familiar with the system. So I didn't have to do any work. And I also didn't have to dig up old problems. They didn't make me talk about things that have happened that led to my claim. And they just reviewed all of my medical records for me. And then if they had questions, I analyzed all the paperwork for me, sent me what was needed. And I'm very confident that if I had tried to handle the appeal on my own, it would have turned out differently because I frequently needed help with the paperwork. Um, I have a college degree and I was in the military, and I still had issues filling out the paperwork on my own because it's almost purposefully vague, and you really do need an attorney's help to know what to put on the paperwork to get your point across, because otherwise all of your symptoms and your diagnoses are too vague and they don't fit the template that the VA has, and your issues will get overlooked and undercompensated. So the attorneys at Hill and Ponton were incredibly helpful because they're just such experts. They understand not only how the VA works and their forms, but they understand, and that just because you have a heap of problems doesn't mean that those should all be bottled into one diagnosis. And they looked through all of my medicals. They were incredibly thorough, more thorough than I would have been. If someone's considering going to Hill and Ponton for help, I would ask them why they haven't done it yet, and they would probably tell me something about their finances or lack of time or that the VA has already decided what they deserve. And you need to forget what you think you know and call Hill and Ponton because you're probably entitled to more than you think you deserve. And you probably don't know how to get there. And they can fill out all the paperwork for you. And it's not going to take time, it's not going to take a bunch of money. You're going to work with them, and it's going to change your life. It really will. I'm just really grateful. You guys were all amazing, and um, again, it's been a long time that I've had chronic pain, and it stopped me from doing things normal people should be able to do. Um, and I didn't appeal my claim sooner because I just thought I was already being compensated, and very military mindset, but I just thought I had to suck it up. And I'm really really glad that I worked with you all, and um, I know that no matter what happens, and no matter how much more my health, my mortgage is paid every month. I'm getting what I'm supposed to be getting now. Um, so it doesn't matter how much worse my health gets because I know my kids are taken care of, and that's really priceless. We really love you guys.